thrilled to be joined by Violet, Lola, and Clara, who are the Thunder Queens. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Doing fantastic. So you guys are all high school students from London, Ontario, really a city that has a great reputation as a live music hub. So how was it growing up in that scene, and how did that scene kind of shape your sound?
Thunder Queens formed because of Girls Rock Camp, and so we really owe our entire band to the community because we wouldn't have come together with our instruments if it wasn't for that. And I think that Girls Rock Camp is very supported throughout all of London, and we've played and it's been hosted in multiple different venues throughout London. So I think that growing up in London was crucial for Thunder Queens.
Right on. So your sound has kind of been described as doom-tinged grunge and onyx-toned punk with searing harmony. So how would you guys describe the Thunder Queen sound?
We're trying to go on more of like a heavier route to our band. We have done some more pop songs, but like the instruments and like the music part of it is very like heavy and like loud and powerful kind of. And then the vocals are more of like a melodic, brighter, kind of happier tone.
You guys have put out 2 singles this year, Teenage Years and Birds on a Wire. I was really getting some early Green Day vibes when I was listening to those songs. Great tracks. So people can stream those now. But tell me a little bit about those songs, those 2 releases that you put out this year.
Teenage Years was a song we've actually written I think it was like 3 years ago. 3 years ago. And we had been performing it for a really long time in all of our sets. And so recording that, I think early this year.
Yeah. We recorded in February of 2025. Yeah.
Yeah. It was really kind of like a relief because obviously our album that we had put out has a lot of our songs we put in our set, but Teenagers was one of the newer ones. And so we were able to put our music out there for what was more current. I think it's been like one of our favorite songs to usually end the set with. So yeah, it was good to record that.
I think the latest one is Birds on a Wire, right?
That one we made more recently, more like 2024, like December. We were writing it to get it ready for recording in February. But yeah, that one has more of like a poppier vibe to it compared to Teenage Years.
Yeah, great tune. So you guys are going to be playing live in your hometown, the Venue by Venue. I think that's how you say it, right? I was reading that and I realized I've never said that out loud. It's Venue by Venue. Okay. So the Venue by Venue showcase at Lazer Quest. So how does it feel to close out that festival in your hometown?
It feels great. I mean, we love playing with other youth bands and other women-fronted bands. And it's an all-ages show, so all our friends can come, which we love. Yeah, playing shows in London is really fun because, like, the whole community is really supportive and everybody comes out and it's always a good time.
Right on. And you touched on it there, playing with, I think, Alter by Mom, a few other bands as well. So you mentioned that the female-fronted high-energy rock, that's going to be a part of this showcase and this festival. So what does that representation, I guess, mean to you guys?
I think that having shows that are women-fronted, especially that are all ages, make it like a really good example for especially younger people that are wanting to start bands, because being able to see yourself more, being able to be in that position is very inspiring.
Absolutely. And tell me about the venue that you're playing, Lazer Quest. I've never been to it. From what I understand, it's new, right?
Yeah, it used to be like a laser tag place, and now it's become like a venue, but it's still at the bottom. Like, we played a show
earlier this year,
and in the green room, it's connected to like the old underground
maze with the blue light.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Yeah, that's cool.
And it's still the lights are still on, and it's kind of scary, but it's really fun to go down there too.
And it's kind of cool to play there too, because I know personally, I had a bunch of birthday parties there when it was Lazer Quest when I was younger. And so having it be an all ages venue now is cool. So
speaking of stages, so you guys have already shared stages with some great bands like the Beaches and the Dirty Nil. So what have you learned from playing with bands like that?
That it is possible to become really popular, and it just kind of happens kind of randomly, but also not. It's cool seeing people using music as a real career. And whether it's in the industry or performing.
And also, I think that whether it's bigger bands or even just local bands that are local to the different areas that we're playing in, I think we take a lot of inspiration from those. I think especially when we first opened for the Beaches in 2023, I think that definitely shaped the next of how we were writing songs. And even recently, at the very beginning of the summer, we opened for Billy Talent for 2 nights in Muskoka, and they're such good performers on stage, and they just give you so much, the expectation is so high for their stage presence.
Yeah.
And so I think we took a lot of inspiration from all bands that perform in such a good way.
Yeah, and even like the bands that we've gotten like closer with, like even with like the Beaches, like they've like taught us like kind of like lessons on like how they started out, and it's like cool to hear their stories of like what we're going through now, and like with other bands that we've headlined and like shows in London, like it's really cool to hear about that.
So you guys play Saturday, right? And then the Beaches are coming to town. So are you guys going to take some time off and go see them or what?
Yeah, they gave us some tickets to go to that.
Awesome. That's sweet. They're an awesome band. You guys have been compared to a lot of different bands, I guess. But what are some of those, what are some bands that are big influences for you guys? I noticed that you guys said that you guys are big fans of Starcrawler, which is an LA band. And I love those guys. I've seen them a couple times. But what are some of those bands that have really kind of influenced you guys?
I think that we all kind of have... I mean, we have shared bands that we like, but we all have like individual music tastes that kind of influence our band. So I know that when I was younger, I listened to a lot of dad rock. Sorry, a lot of dad rock, like Foo Fighters, and also a lot of rap. And my stepmom listened to a lot of like punk, like a lot of local shows, a lot of Bikini Kill and Sleater Kinney. And then also when I started getting more interested in drums, I started listening to a lot more Britpop, like Blur. That was a big one. And so, yeah, a lot of that helped, I think, me for drumming for Thunder Queens.
And you guys both agree?
Yeah. There's definitely lots of bands that we all like. Like we saw Drug Church in Montreal, and they're like a cool heavy band that I think we like aspire to have like cool songs like that. I like the Smiths, like I like the bass, and like we play different music, but I like them, and there's other bands that I like too. But just like listening to music and taking influences and like being creative and stuff.
You guys are still in school, still in high school. So how do you guys stay grounded, balancing school and creativity and being in a band?
I think it's definitely very challenging for us sometimes. Like if we have to travel for a show and we get home at like 2 a.m. and then there's like school in the morning, that's hard sometimes. And sometimes we have homework and it's like, oh, we have like lots of stuff we have to do. But we're passionate about our band and we have a lot of fun. And it's just like us three are great friends. So it's just like hanging out, and it's really good experience. Being in this band, we've met so many people and learned so many new things, and we all love it. So,
and I think most teachers are very like supportive of the band, and it's sort of similar to how a lot of kids will have like a hockey pastime where they have to leave for a week to go play in a sort of like playoffs. And so really there shouldn't be as much of a stigma around music. And I think that us being able to do well in school and being in a band is great.
Well, that's nice to hear that you're getting that support from your teachers as well. I've also read that you're kind of unafraid to experiment with your music. So what's something new or surprising that maybe you're exploring with your new music?
Right now, we are writing songs and preparing to record them in December. And so we're still in the process of writing a few of them. And I think that right now, something that we've done for a while, but are definitely experimenting more with now is different parts of our songs having different speeds, which is kind of interesting, and having a lot of more complex parts and not having the same part over and over again, like having everything, kind of every line being different. And so I think that now that we've had like almost the majority of our years with guitar, bass, and drums, we have like way more complex ideas now. And so just kind of pushing the boundaries of like what you kind of feel like music needs to be. I think that that's what we've been doing a lot recently, just kind of making whatever we want.
Yeah. And also with like song structure, like most of our songs are basically like the classic kind of song where it's like verse, chorus, bridge, chorus, or whatever. But like I feel like now we're if that makes sense. But now we're kind of like branching off into that and making like different parts of like more abstract parts with like connecting to like other parts of the song, and like going outside of our comfort zone with like the structure and stuff, which is like a big change for us, for like starting out at like 9 and like just like knowing like the basic kind of stuff.
That's cool to hear your thought process with that. But how do you guys approach like creating the songs? Like is it the three of you all, getting in the studio together, or do you write separately and bring ideas together? How does that work for you guys?
I think that we all like usually will work on some ideas, and usually predominantly it's like Violet, our guitarist, will bring a riff and then we all sit down together. Then we'll write other parts and figure out the structure and then do lyrics and like what we want the song to be about and how we want it to feel.
Yeah, and I think lyrics is like kind of something we do more early on because it like kind of leads to like the mood of the song and what it's about, and we can make parts from that. And so usually we'll just have our guitar riffs that we've had so far and play them and kind of just think about if this was happening during a movie, like what would be happening during the scene, and just write down like a bunch of words of what would be happening, things that are related, and then just kind of making lines from there.
That's cool to hear. So getting back to your live music, what's your mission? You're like, there's going to be a lot of people coming to see you. You mentioned a lot of your friends are coming to the venue by venue performance, but what do you hope people kind of feel after they leave a Thunder Queen show?
I'd hope people maybe feel a bit inspired, like our friends or like younger people, to like try out music or make a band with their friends. That's something like we promote, is other youth bands and like other youth being in music. So I think inspiration is probably one.
And I think also like showing that it doesn't all have to be like super serious about all this stuff. It's honestly just about having fun with your friends and having fun writing with your friends and performing and having fun with your friends. Like it really is just like any other fun kind of hobby. Yeah.
Well, right on. Violet, Lola, and Clara, thank you very much for taking some time with me today. And I'm looking forward to hopefully coming to your show at Venue by Venue. But if not that, I'm sure we'll be seeing you guys around because you guys are playing tons of shows and you guys got good heads on your shoulders and you got a great sounding band. So thanks for chatting with me today and good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.